40-ish minutes, probably closer to 45-ish minutes of side split stretch starting right now. My name is Ken. We do this stretching every single day to practice consistency. Use that consistency, hopefully, and your consistency to build a little bit of community. And together, hopefully, we'll make a whole bunch of progress towards our side split goals. If you're here, that's what we're working on. But side splits don't come overnight. Just like working out doesn't turn you into a bodybuilder in one day. We gotta work and make steady progress to get the side splits. So if you have lower body mobility in mind at all, this is the right place for you to be. All right. You're gonna need a cushion later. We have one stretch that we're gonna do on our knee. So I'm gonna let you now. You go grab it before we continue. With that, I think we're ready to get into our exercises. We're doing 3 warm-up exercises and we're doing 5 stretches. So 8 unique things throughout this next 30-45 minutes. And the 3 warm-up exercises are going to go like this. They're all about movement, staying limber almost. We're just trying to move, warm up, get our blood flowing so that we can do some intense stretches later. The stretches that come after the exercises are to pre-stretch some of the muscles that we're going to use when we do the side splits. We want the side splits to be really good, feel really nice. Nice. They're going to still be painful, but we're trying to prepare the muscles in advance so when we get into the side split stretch, we can get into a nice deep side split stretch and work on the form and the body and all that stuff down there. All right, let's get into our first warm-up exercise. It's called the hip cars. Cars is capital C, capital A, capital R, controlled articulated rotation, and S is just plural. We're doing a lot of them. We're going to do 10 on each side, forward and back, so it's 40 total, and they look a little like this. We're going to do high knee. Ooh, a little bit off balance. I think I did something to my right foot earlier today. My right foot's a little bit weird, so I'm going to make a point to hold on to something for a little bit better balance. All right, I have that here. All right, hip cars, let's get back into it. First thing, high knee. Lift that knee as high as you can directly in front. Open up that hip directly to the left. Rotate the leg as much as you can so that the knee and the ankle are as high as possible. Then bring that leg down and back. Try to keep this torso relatively straight, but if you want to exaggerate a little bit and feel cool, that's fine with me as well. Flex the hamstrings, flex the glutes when you're here. Feel that stretch in the front of the hip, and that is 1 rep. We're going to do 9 more on this leg, then we're going to do 10 on this, and then we're going to reverse the whole thing for a total of 40 reps. All right, let's go. High knee, open, ankle, leg back. If you're just joining, you have no idea what we're doing. We're doing 30-ish, 40-ish minutes of live side split stretching, building some consistency, building some community, having a cool place to hang out for side split stretches. And this particular move is our first warm-up exercise, and it is called the hip car. High knee, open, ankle, leg down and back. 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 I'm pretty sure we're at or approaching 10. I kind of lost count because I was trying to retell people what we're doing. It's a whole bunch of people joining. So we're done with this leg. Let's switch to the other leg. If you need to grab something to help you balance or move to a new location so that you can hold on to the wall or something, please take a second to do that while we set up for the second hip cars on this side. All right, I'm going to struggle a little bit more because my chair is over here. But my left leg doesn't have a weird toe thing going on, so that should be okay with balance. Let's go. High knee. Open up directly to the side. Rotate the leg. Keep that knee and ankle high. Bring the leg down and back. I'm going to rotate a little bit so you can see from a different angle. High knee. Lift that knee as high as possible. Point that leg directly to the side. Rotate the leg so that the knee and the ankle are both really high as you can lift them. Bring the leg down and back. Flex the hamstring. Flex the glutes. Feel that stretch in the hip flexors. And 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Whew. All right, let's do them in reverse now. So to do them in reverse, they look a little bit like this. I'm going to show you the side profile so you can see the backwards leg. We're going to go back first, flex the hamstrings, flex the glutes, feel that stretch in the hip flexor, and we're going to lift directly up to the side, like we're in a cool martial arts movie, except when we extend our legs, there'll be absolutely zero power. So the kick will not hurt anybody. And from here, we're going to rotate the leg so that the knee is up, but our knee is still pointed directly to our side. And we're going to bring the knee forward and come in. Whoa! Excuse me. That is 1 rep. We got 9 more to go. Let's get to it. Ooh. I don't know, it just got caught in my throat. That's so weird. Alright, back. Left side. 9 more reps. Back. Side, ankle, knee. 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 I think we've done like 9. So let's call that 10. Whew. All right. Last one. One last leg. We're still going backwards. We're going to wrap up the hip cars right now. Take a nice big deep breath. And let's go. Back. Side. Ankle. Knee. Back. Side. Ankle. Knee. Back. Side. Ankle. Knee. Back. Side. Ankle. Knee. Take a break if you need it. Also, this is just a reminder, we're really trying to lift that leg to its end range of motion. So there might be moments where you're like, wow, he's going so fast, and you might feel like you want to rush to catch up. And I want to encourage you to take your time and get maximum range of motion. Part of the reason I say that is because we want you to get the most out of this exercise, right? Obviously, you know, throwing your leg around is good. It'll get your blood pumping, get your heart working, you'll warm up. But we also want to take advantage of what hip cars do. Hip cars are all about flexing your muscles and pushing your leg to places that are kind of hard to reach so that you can get stronger in those positions. Part 2 of why I recommend you do that is I talk a lot. I explain a lot of stuff. And especially if you've been here before, you don't need to hear every single detail that clearly. So you can take your time and focus on making the most out of every single move. All right, that is our first warm-up exercise. We're gonna move on and get into number 2. I'm gonna real quick come over to TikTok and shift the camera up just a little bit. I feel like it's angled a little bit low. And of course I'm struggling because last second stuff. Whew. All right, since I'm already here, let me take a look at the chat. Queen RRR says, hi, I'm having difficulty hearing you. Is your earbud connected? That is a great question. It is not connected. That is completely connected. I hope the audio is a little bit better now. Cryptid Cupcake just messaged and said, hello all. Welcome, Cryptid Cupcake. Hello, followed. Welcome. Purest Form just followed. Xenon. Oh, I think that's 2Line W. Yeah, he says, yes, I've been here for a while. Thank you for coming back. It's good to see you again. CCO3, welcome back. All right. Oh, a whole bunch of people are followed. Josephina, welcome. All right, let's get into warm-up exercise number 2. Queen R says, oh my God, yes, I can hear you great now. You might want to do another intro. Okay, yeah. If you are just hopping in, or if you had no idea what I was saying before because you are on the YouTube app, everybody, I'm doing TikTok and YouTube at the same time. There's like one device right here that's TikTok, and there's one device right here that's YouTube, and they're 2 inches apart. For context, if you ever feel like I'm talking to somebody that you haven't seen in the chat, that's why I'm doing 2 devices at the same time, because it's just 2 cell phones. I just confiscate my girlfriend's phone, put it right in front, and then that's just how it goes. All right, 2 for 1 deal. If you have never been here before, we're doing 30 minutes of live side split stretching. It's probably going to be a little bit longer than 30 minutes. We do this every single day to practice consistency so that we can build a little bit of community, because if you keep coming back and I keep coming back, then we're going to get to know each other a little bit better. And then if other people keep talking and stuff, you'll get to know each other, and good vibes, right? Good vibes, you like each other, you hang out, community. All right, so hopefully
we'll all make a little bit of progress together because it's easier to do hard things when you're doing it with a whole bunch of other people. And generally, if you like them. So that's what we're doing. I hope you have fun. Hang around. We are going into warm-up exercise number 2, and that is the elephant walk. It looks a little bit like this. We're going to get into this L shape, fold forward. It's all about the hamstrings right now. And if this is really intense for you, that's okay. This is probably going to be intense for everybody. My hamstrings are crying a little bit right now because this is the first time all day I've done anything forward folding. When you're here, take a nice big deep breath. And exhale. Try to relax a little bit. Doesn't matter if your back is rounding for this part. Just try to relax and get into a deeper position. As long as you're not feeling pain, like something's really suffering and it's just your hamstring getting stretched, we're good. Just chill. Chill. All right. I like to take the warm-up portion nice and slow and chill for a couple of seconds because most people don't do that much stuff all day, and this is their first time doing something super intense. So I don't want to get you right into the nitty-gritty hard stuff because that's just gonna hurt and be uncomfortable and make you want to do less stretching. So now that we've hung here for a couple of seconds, I want you to start bending one knee at a time. Doggo joining us? Nope, no doggo. She took a sniff at the air around me and said, "Ken, you smell bad. I'm leaving." Or maybe I don't smell like the right food for her. All right. Just hang out, do some knee switching from side to side. And this is called an elephant walk. You can do this as optional, but it's totally possible to bend one knee, take a step forward, feel a little of the hamstring stretch, and bend that knee, take another leg forward, and do a hamstring stretch. You can walk around your house doing this if you want to look, or if you're not afraid of looking a little bit silly, but if you live alone, this is a great way to get a really nice, intense hamstring stretch and then actually make it useful. Like you can go places like this. And when I say go places, I mean like, go over to the kitchen so you can make yourself a cup of coffee. And then you'll be like, look, I got like 30 seconds of work done in my workout. I don't expect you to actually walk around your house to that way. But if that's your cup of tea, then, or I guess I just said something about coffee. If that's your cup of coffee, then please, you might have like super extremely flexible hamstrings way faster than anybody else because you just spend way more time training them than anybody else that you know. Okay, that's enough about elephant walks. We did them. We worked the hamstrings. They're loosened up. You're a little bit warmer, and it's just reps, right? We're trying to get blood warming up our chest, our arms, and folding forward brings a little bit more blood flow, cooling in the top of your head. And let's just do one or two more and call it. All right, those are elephant walks. We add a whole bunch of different variations occasionally to make it fun and interesting, but we're not going to do any more today because we had internet issues. Let's go into number 3, the Cossack switch. The Cossack switch looks a little bit like this. We're going to open up our hips 3 times our hips width. So this is hips width. This is probably 2, and that's about 3. This isn't that important. We're just opening it up nice and wide, pointing our toes out about 30 to 45 degrees. If you have socks on, I recommend you take them off. I know it's getting colder in a lot of places right now, so your toes might struggle a little bit, but you need a little bit of grip, all right? Once your toes are pointing out 30 to 45 degrees, just see if you can drop down to one side and hang out a little bit. I want you to keep in mind one main thing. I want your knees to travel in the same direction as your toes. So if your toes are pointing this way, I want your knees to also travel that way. This is, in general, a safer way for your knee to be in these more extreme positions. If your knee starts peeling off to the left or to the right, there's a lot of tension on the knee joint and the ligaments around your knee, and it's not necessary for what we're doing. So try to keep your knees right over your toes. And you can actually do a whole bunch of things and choose a lot of different angles and keep your knees right above your toes the whole time. So keep that in mind. All right. Once we are here and we're hanging out just a little bit, same thing as with the elephant walk. Before we get into really intense exercise and going from side to side, we want you to warm up the muscles that are working real hard. And I want you to focus on feeling that pressure in the front of the ankle, right here. I want you to feel that stretch in the Achilles tendon. I want you to feel the pressure building in that hip. And now that we've talked about it and hung out here for a bit, let's move to the other side. The easiest way to get to the other side is to put your hands down, support your body, and slowly transition to the other side. All right, same thing. We want to feel the stretch in that heel, in the Achilles tendon, in the hip, and you might find that it's very comfortable to have your heel up off the ground. That's totally fine. If you are feeling like you're very strong with your balance, that's totally okay place to be. You'll probably find that your knees are really pushing far forward, and that's fine. But if you're struggling a little bit with this position and you're not too sure about your balance, you're shaking, I recommend you try to put your heel down. That's because your foot forms a little bit of tripod. Your big toe is one leg, your heel is one leg, and then your pinky toe-ish area is another leg of the tripod. So you got a little tripod. And once you have this feeling all stable, you can sort of lean back into it and feel that Achilles tendon stretch. And this will be a more difficult position to hold on to because you have to work a little bit harder, right? When you're leaning all the way in, you're letting gravity do all the work and all your joints are just hanging out. But you're not getting stronger in this position, you're just hanging out in this position. All right, so those are choices that you have to make for your level of stretch. However, what we're going to do next is we're going to try and move our we're going to move from side to side. And so we got to figure out how to prioritize balancing on either side, right? It might be easier for you to do it with your whole foot down. We got lots of options. We're going to go from side to side 5 times, first of all. And we got lots of different options. So we can keep on using our hands to help bring our hips over. Try to keep your hips low. And you can use your fingers to help yourself over. If this is easy, you got no problems doing this. You can try to straighten out your posture, your back. You can try to put your heel down. You can try to point your other leg's toes up into the air. You can try to stick your arms out to help counterbalance. You can go from side to side with a lot of power and control in the hips. Or if that's really intense and uncomfortable, or if you're just tired, you can do like a half squat, come over, and then come down. Or heck, you can do full squats up and down. Wherever you want, as long as you spend a little bit of time in this down position with this kind of stretch going on this leg down here, and you work those muscles and get a little bit stronger here. That's all we care about. All right, hope you've done the reps. Hopefully you're warmed up. If you're not warmed up, keep doing some squats, and we'll talk about the first stretch that we're gonna do. Oh man, I'm tired today. Okay, shake out the legs. The Cossack switches are pretty intense for the hips, for the ankles, for the knees, because we have to sort of transition from side to side, and that could be a lot of pressure. We just talked about how we're trying to keep the knees over toes, and that is possibly a little bit hard to maintain when you're also trying to move your hips over to the other side, right? So make sure you're feeling okay. We're going to get into our first stretch. First stretch that we're going to do is a hamstring stretch. I recommend you grab a pillow, a cushion. I completely just dropped it, fumbling, trying to look cool before we begin. And the reason for it is we're going to drop down onto one knee and we're going to stretch like this. So we need a little bit of padding. If you have carpet on the floor, maybe you don't need it. If you have really tough young person knees, then maybe you don't need it, but it helps. It makes it feel a little bit easier. All right. I'm going to slide over, check the comments real quick while we wait for whoever needs to grab a pillow to grab a pillow. Let's see. Anna says, "You're awesome, dude. I love this." Thank you. Thank you. That's so nice. See, I got a big smile on my face that I can't put away. Put it away. Serious. All right. CZO3 says, "Still here. I'm glad you stayed. We had some internet difficulties earlier, but I'm glad a bunch of you are still on. I appreciate it." All right. Let's get into the hamstring stretch. Let's grab that pillow, grab that cushion. It can be a towel. It could be an old flip-flop. It could be an old sneaker that you don't care about, as long as you can put your knee on it. But you know, you only need something that big. A cookie, an old cookie. I don't know why I said cookie. Weird. Okay, let's move on. Let's get into the hamstring stretch. We're gonna take the leg we want to stretch and stick it directly in front of us. All right. So our hips are pointing this way, our chest is pointing this way, our leg is sticking straight out in front. We don't want it to start peeling off to the side. You might feel like you can get into a deeper position if you choose a different angle. That's not what we're working on. We're working on hamstring stretches. So right in front, and we're focusing on the belly button. All right. Try to bring that belly button down towards the leg. As you're folding forward, you're going to start feeling that hamstring tightening up, and it's going to be uncomfortable. When that starts happening, especially if it's your first time getting into a hamstring-ish stretch today, I want you to take a big deep breath in and then out. Try to relax over to that leg. Hopefully that just helped you relax a little bit, and you won't necessarily even feel it in the hamstring itself. Maybe your lower back just relaxed a little bit. Maybe your chest relaxed a little bit. We want to be able to try to relax when we're in these stretches, because at the end of the day, the more tense you are, the more stiff you are, the less likely your muscle is going to just chill out and relax all of a sudden, right? Like you have to get everything to sort of relax, and hopefully your leg will also relax with it. All right. And that's a lot of mumbo jumbo. It's founded in real science and truth, but I try to make it fun to listen to, so it sounds like mumbo jumbo. Let's get into that stretch and bring the belly button down. Take a nice deep breath. Try to relax into the stretch. We're going to hold this for 30 seconds, and that's it. I'll count us in. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21. I'm going to rotate. You don't have to move. 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Okay. Oh, that was intense. If it felt stressful, tingly, uncomfortable, those are all totally normal things to feel after you do an intense stretch. As long as you're not feeling pain now that we're out of it and we're standing and we're moving around, as long as you're like, oh, okay, that was okay, then we're good. We're gonna keep going. If you're feeling prolonged pain, if you felt like something went whoosh and something unexpected perhaps happened, then maybe you should stop and take a break and assess the damage. It's very, 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 very unlikely that we did anything remotely hard enough to cause that much pain or harm. But in case that there is something that is super strange, then I want to be aware of it. So let me know. If you're an elite bodybuilder and you have really, 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 really tight legs, those are the type of athletes who you might hear after like a bodybuilding, like powerlifting competition, they'll take a walk in the parking lot and suddenly a tendon will snap because they try to bend down and touch their toes. When you have that amount of power and tension in your body and you're also trying to get like weird flexibility things going on, that is a scenario where something crazy might happen. But for most normal people living fairly average lives at normal people levels of strength, we're not doing stretches intensely enough. Like, we're not jumping into a full front split, right? Like there's not enough energy and power getting shoved into our tendons, our muscles to generally cause any real damage. So I've gotten this question a lot. Is this safe to do? For 99% of people living average normal lives, it's very, 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 very safe to do. There's probably a very small percentage of people who live kind of intense lives that I can't even comprehend or imagine that this might be a little bit challenging for. But you should be good. You should be good. All right. That was a long tangent. I don't know why I spent so long on that. Let's get into this next hamstring stretch and keep going. Same thing, point the leg directly in front, hips directly in front. Focus on bringing the belly button down to the leg and Take some nice big deep breaths. Remember that when we do the 30 seconds of stretching, to breathe the whole time. Don't get all tense and hold your breath, even if it's uncomfortable. Try your best to breathe, even if it's little shallow breaths. But don't hyperventilate. That's bad. I did a bad example. All right, let's go. 30 seconds. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20. The reason why I like this variation is because you can always put your hands down to give yourself a little bit of support to make the stretch easier. It's much simpler to stay balanced even though you're leaning so far forward, and you still get gravity helping you a little bit by pulling your upper body down into that stretch. All right, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, come on back out of that stretch. Oh, if your legs are working, come back into standing. Get rid of your cushion, get rid of your pillow. You don't need it anymore, and we're ready to move on to stretch number 2. The second stretch that we're going to do is called the butterfly, and it looks a little bit like this. You've probably seen it before. You pull your feet towards you, your knees kind of come up, and you grab your ankles a little bit like this, and maybe a stretch happens at some point. The butterfly is all about the groin stretch, and the best way to stretch the groin when you're in this position is actually to bring your knees into the ground, like real low. But it's hard to do that, and that's why we're going to do the variation that I'm going to explain to you right now. First, you need to get your back to a wall or something flat and smooth and durable so that you can apply pressure to it. This is a really confusing way of saying you need to get to a wall. All right, I'm going to get to this door. It's not a wall, but it's a wall. Put my hips, shoulder, and head against it. Have this nice straight posture, and then bring my feet in towards me. All right. You'll see immediately that my knees are way lower to the ground than they were before when I was just sitting right there. And I promise it's not me working harder. There's something about having the support behind your back that just makes it easier for you to do things. And that's going to be a very useful little piece of information in like 10 seconds. Before we get to that though, let's start by flexing these outer thigh muscles, these glutes, to really open up the legs. I want you to try to bring your knees to the ground as much as you can, and take your time. It's okay. You might notice that my feet are no longer, touching like this. They're kind of opened up like that, and that's because the groin is pulling itself open, or I guess my muscles are pulling my groin open. And once you can't open up your legs anymore, I want you to make sure your butt, your shoulders, and your head are against the wall behind you. Take those hands and apply pressure into the legs. You will suddenly start feeling a whole bunch of pressure in the back of your head when you do this, and that is basically you using the wall to help push your legs down. And I promise this is way better than if we were seated on the floor trying to push our legs down. I didn't demonstrate, but you just gotta have to trust me. We'll try it later. That's it. Let's go. Apply the muscle tension opening. Apply your hands. 30 seconds. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24. If my voice ever sounds randomly weird, is because I'm working really hard and straining muscles to try to open up my legs or do whatever I'm telling you to do. I'm also working really hard to do. I'm not like super ultra flexible. That these are all effortless positions for me. So if I randomly start breathing really hard, there's a reason for that. I'm on the same boat. All right. 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Last couple of seconds. Really squeeze those muscles. Push your legs down. 3, 2, 1, 0. Okay, relax. Let everything go. Okay, if your legs feel like they're stuck in place, because that is often how I feel, and I assume that's how most people feel because I just pretend I'm normal. Take your legs, pull them up a little bit, give them a little bit of movement, and then you should be able to real soon get into this like leg flappy situation. And I think that's why it's called a butterfly, because you can flap those wings Once your legs are kind of normal, let's get into stretch number 3. It's called the standing pancake, and the goal of the standing pancake is to open up our legs pretty wide, fold downwards, and bring our head in between our legs. It gets really hard, and because it's really hard, we want gravity to work for us as much as possible, and that's why we do the standing variation. Sorry, I'm going to adjust an earbud, so some of your microphones might suddenly just hear a lot of sounds. In the standing pancake, our upper body is being pulled down by gravity, right? There's a lot of assistance here. If we were in a seated position and you have tight hamstrings and you're trying to do that same position, you're not going to go very far because gravity is not pulling your chest down, it's pulling, this way. All right. So anytime you can, especially when it's involving your hamstrings and you don't have very loose hamstrings, you want to get gravity working for you. And that typically means we're going to be standing, or maybe we're sitting on a low stool, okay, like here. So at least we can still get gravity to work for us. All right, standing pancake. Here we are. What are the cues? Let's try to open up our legs as much as comfortable. When it gets uncomfortable, it's harder to focus on folding forward, and we want to focus on the forward fold as much as we can. So open up those legs to where you're comfortable. Fold forward and try to bring your belly button down to the ground. It's not going to actually get to the ground unless your legs open all the way into a full split, but I want you to imagine that you're trying to push your belly button down towards the ground. All right, that is the forward fold component. And if you want, you can add this other imagery. Your belly button is trying to go down, but you want the bottoms of your butts to point up into the sky, because that's your pelvis, that's your hip, right? If your belly button is going down, the bottom of your butt is going up. And imagining both, trying to get both to happen at the same time, because they should be happening at the same time, might help you get deeper. All right, that's it. Let's go. Fold. If you stick your arms out above your head, it will make the stretch even more intense. We're holding this for 30 seconds. Let's go. 30, 29, 28. If this is too intense, you can always reduce one arm. You can take 2 arms away, put your hands down for some support. You can do whatever you want. 25, 24, 23. Remember to breathe. Don't hold your breath. 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Oh, okay, come on back up into standing. Oh, let's talk real quick about technique that you can work on in the future. Not today, but in the future, because we need to rest and recover from the struggles of that pain. Oh, okay. So at the end of the day, you want to fold like so, right? This is your legs, this is your upper body. You want to go. We start in the standing position, so your legs are like this, and your upper body is kind of like this. If you stick your butt back so that your legs go backwards, like so. So, this is my butt. Ignore the rest of my arm. If you get to that, and your upper body is still horizontal, that angle is still much smaller than 90 degrees, okay? So what I like to do to make sure we get the most out of gravity support is try to keep my back roughly around horizontal. And then the further you stick your butt back, and you might need a counterbalance and stick your arms in front, the more you'll be getting into that stretch. I hope that makes sense. We're really just talking about angles. We're going from here to sticking our butt back and keeping our chest horizontal and getting to this angle. So we're feeling more of a stretch, but the upper body stays in the same place and the bottom moves. A lot of people focus on just bring the top down like so, but I think it's a more intense, more effective stretch if we put the butt back and try to keep gravity working at its best like so. Okay, that's my philosophy. Let's move on to stretch number 4. Actually, before we move on to stretch number 4, I'm going to come back in and check the chat real quick to see if there's anything we need to address. YouTube looks good, and clear. Naledi Star 420 says, I need this so bad. I've been working on my stretching. Awesome. Amazing. Hey, Goldo X is back. Thank you for coming back to day 4. Appreciate your consistency. Congratulations. I love it. Anna says, this is exactly the kind of energy I need today. Thank you for reminding me to stretch. You are so welcome. Thank you. Thank you for sharing the positive vibes so that it makes it easier for me to have positive vibes. Okay. Oh, I'm a little bit out of breath. A. Bell says, subscribed. Amazing stretch. Okay. I love it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right. We're going to stretch number 4. And stretch number 4 is easy to remember because we bring our leg across our body like so, and it makes the number 4. It's called a figure 4 stretch or a pigeon stretch, depending on which direction that you do it. But it basically looks like this. We're bringing the ankle across our bodies, and then we're bringing our chest down to that leg so that we're folding into sort of this shape. And this stretch is going to really help us stretch out sort of this outer side glute and maybe the inner thigh, depending on how tight you are in different muscles. Okay? This is called a figure 4 stretch. And the alternative is called the pigeon, and it looks a little bit like this. We're going to keep that leg across our bodies. We're going to sort of stick our back leg out behind us. We're going to try and bring our chest and our hips down as low as we can over that leg. This version of this stretch is super dependent on gravity. And you know how much I love gravity. If we haven't talked about gravity enough, here's more gravity. However, it's really easy to kind of get too chill in the pigeon, in my opinion. You have to actively push your ankle away because when you're hanging out here and if you just try to move around in this position, you'll see that my ankle is coming in towards my hips. And when your legs are like that, it's much, much easier a stretch. It's not even a stretch. You have to work and push that ankle away from you to really focus on that stretch. The other thing that makes it a little bit difficult for a lot of people is not having enough mobility in this hip to stick the leg behind you and sort of stay in this position easily. You're losing balance and uncomfortable, or maybe even you're feeling a lot of pressure on this back knee and it's uncomfortable. We got 2 tips for that. One, this position that we're doing is basically you lying down and sticking your leg in, right? So if you don't actively try to get into this position where you're feeling a lot of stretch in the hip, you can sort of just go lay down and roll into the stretch, and you'll still be able to get into it without the look at my hips and my lower back flexibility. But I like the figure 4 stretch because it's done on your back. All right, we're taking the same leg that we're going to stretch. We're going to cross it over to the other side of our bodies. We're going to put it just under the opposite knee, and we're going to reach through and pull our leg in. We're going to still feel that stretch, and we have total control of where this ankle is. We have total control of how intense this stretch feels. The one con is you gotta work really hard and pull your leg into position instead of just kind of laying down and waiting for gravity to do the work. Okay, I've shown you the 2 ways to do this. We've talked about pros and cons. Pick your poison. Actually, this is a really comfortable, nice stretch. Like after you do it, I typically feel like, man, I should do this more, but then I never do. And whatever, that's not a big deal or the point. Pick which one you're gonna do. You got 3 seconds, and then we're gonna start our 30-second timer. All right, 3, 2, 1, let's go. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23. I feel like I started counting a little bit fast because I was so excited about the 3, 2, 1. So I'm going to intentionally slow it down. 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13. Don't start taking it super chill because you're lying on your back. We're still feeling a stretch. If your butt isn't getting stretched, you're not doing it right. Pull harder. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Okay, relax. Put the leg down. Oh, okay. Since y'all have seen how I get into it, I'm not going to show you the same view as before. I'm going to do it on the side to show you the angle that I'm able to pull my leg into my chest for this other leg. Okay, get ready. Get into whichever stretch that you're going to do, pigeon or figure four. And let's go. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Okay, relax. Let everything down. Oh, if you did that right and you did the version I was doing, your muscles are probably tired from contracting. So take a quick breath, relax. All right, that's enough. No more relaxing. We just did 3 warm-up exercises, 4 stretches. We did all this preparation, all of this stuff to get our blood pumping, our muscles loosened up, so that we can do stretch number 5, the side splits. So let's talk about the side splits. We're going to do 3 rounds of 30 seconds. In between each round, we're going to relax as much as we can. We're going to move and we're going to shake, loosen up the muscles. We're going to do a couple of quick checks to make sure our joints and stuff are still working fine after all the pressure we just put them through. And yeah, we're going to do 3 rounds of 30 seconds. Before we get into the stretch, I want to talk about safety. All right. This wall that we now have become intimate friends with, I want you to get really close to it, and I want you to take just one small step in front of it so that you're maybe 8 to 12 inches, 20, 30-ish centimeters in front of it. And that's because when we are in a deep position later, if you fall forwards, it's more or less straightforward to catch yourself with your hands. But if you start falling backwards, it can be a little bit uncomfortable and scary. But if you're really close to that wall, and you lose balance like this, and the wall will catch you and it'll help keep you safe. The problem is getting back out of this position. Oh, okay. Whew. All right. So safety is a big part of what we care about. One, because I don't want you to get hurt. That's not good. It makes it really hard for you to want to come back, right? My goal is to have us practice consistency because that is the magic goody stuff that makes us make progress, right? But the other reason we care about safety is because the safer you feel, the more comfortable you are, the more relaxed you can get. The more relaxed you can get, the easier it will be for you to get into a deeper stretch. All right. So all of these things to make us feel warm and fuzzy and comfy and good inside, including my personality, all that fun, good energy, helps you relax just a little bit, hopefully get into a deeper stretch. Okay. Let's actually stretch now. Open up those legs nice and wide until you're feeling a little bit of pressure in the hips and it's a little bit uncomfortable. All right. Then I want you to fold right here, just like how we were doing the pancake, and put your hands down like we're going to do some push-ups. But we're not actually going to do push-ups. When our hands are out in front like this and we're supporting some of our body weight, it makes it easier for us to turn our legs. What we're going to do is called external rotation of the leg. And what that means is instead of your toes pointing forward and your feet on the ground, we're going to rotate that leg so that your heel is down, your toes are up, and your knees are pointing up. In essence, this rotates your leg bone, the femur, out of the way of some bone stuff in your pelvis and makes it easier for your legs to go all the way out. We don't need to get into any more anatomy than that. Makes stuff easier. Rotating the leg makes stuff easier. If you are stuck here in this position, you can't get any further. You're done. That's great. This is a perfect spot to stop. If you feel like you can get a little bit further, I want you to walk your hands further back towards your hips. Doing that puts more of your body weight right above your legs, right into the side split position, and makes the stretch more intense. If you feel like you might have a little bit more, you're a daredevil and you're going to try really hard right now. You can try to do a little wiggle from side to side and see if you can break the friction in your feet or, whatever stickiness that you got left and get into a deeper side split stretch. Once you cannot get any further, it's time to start our 30 seconds. Let's go. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23. Remember to breathe. Don't hold your breath. 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, lean forward, crawl on those hands, pull your legs together, and try your best to come back into standing. We just finished our first round, so we gotta shake it out. What we just did, the side split, basically went and made our whole body really tense for 30 seconds. And then we try to wiggle, we try to do all this horrible stuff to it, and it caused it to get even more tense. All right, so the first thing that we have to do is try our best to relax as much as possible. Oh, okay, so it looks like I'm just wiggling and shaking out my arms and my legs. That is exactly 100% right. Shake everything out. If you're tense and your muscles are all tight and contracted, you're gonna look like a weird robot, okay? What we're trying to do is look like those inflatable car dealership thingies that go like this and have air blowing through them. And we wanna be loose and relaxed so that we can move well. All right. If it looks ridiculous, that's okay. I'm the one doing it for you. You don't have to show me how you're doing it. It's fine. I'm ready and prepared for this emotionally. All right. Let's do a couple of quick checks to make sure everything is working, everything is fine, and we're going to get on into round 2. So, hip circles. Just make sure those hips are working. Do some high knees. Make sure your hip flexors are good. This one is a little bit harder. Some mini squats. We want to make sure your knees, your ankles, maybe your toes are doing okay. And then finally, I like to kick myself in the butt because I feel like it's incomplete if I don't do it. I don't know why I feel that way. I just do. If all those tests came back good, then we're ready to get into round 2. Before we start round 2, there's one more thing I want to say. If you're having fun, if you're enjoying the good vibes, make sure to hit follow, hit subscribe. We do this every single day to practice consistency, both for you and for me. It's way more fun doing stretches when you guys are here and when there are people to talk to in the chat. So it's not just about you, it's about me too, okay? And yeah, with enough people coming back regularly, we build a little bit of community, people get to know each other. I think Gold OX, today is day 4 in a row for her. So everybody, keep coming back, hang out, chill, stretch, make a little bit of progress towards our side split goals. Okay, that's enough. Let's get back into side splits. Safety. If you stay really close to the wall and you lose your balance and you start falling backwards, the wall will catch you and keep you safe. Let's open up those legs and get into some side splits. When your hips start feeling uncomfortable, fold forward, put your hands down like you're going to do a couple of push-ups. We're not actually doing push-ups, we're just putting weight in our hands so it's easier to rotate the legs. It's totally possible to rotate without doing that, but why put unnecessary stress on your joints and your balance for something that we can do a much easier way? Okay, once your toes are pointing up, your heel is down, and your knee is pointing up, knee up, heel down. Walk your hands back towards your hips. Do a little wiggle from side to side to see if you get deeper into the stretch. And once you are all stretched out, it's time to start at 30 seconds. Let's go. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16. If this whole time your arms have been locked out and straight like this, I want you to experiment, and you're ready to try something a little bit harder. I want you to experiment with bending your elbows. You might notice that suddenly a whole bunch more weight just magically dipped into your hips and made that stretch more intense. And hopefully that's what you wanted. 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, lean forward. Crawl like a zombie that just got its legs chopped off and is coming after brain. And come back into standing. Relax. Shake out your arms. Shake out your legs. Wiggle. Wiggle some more. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Wiggle at a fast speed. If it looks like a big floppy fish that just got caught, that's a good sign. Okay? And if you're wondering why we shake out our arms so much, it's because it's doing a lot of this, it's supporting our weight, trying to keep our bodies up, and it deserves a wiggle too. Okay. Once you feel like your legs are kind of working again, let's do our quick checks again. Hip circles. You should notice that the little checks that we do get a little bit more difficult, a little bit more intense as we go. I feel a whole bunch of discomfort right here at the front of these hip bones, and then after doing a couple, the pain completely disappears. So I know it's just a quick stretch that I need to do. And don't forget the knees. Don't forget our mini squats, working our knees, our ankles, our toes, and our customary for show butt kicks. Okay, that's round 2. Round 2 is hard, but you might have noticed that you're much deeper than round 1. Maybe it hurt just as much because you pushed even harder than before, but you probably noticed that it's much easier to get deeper in round 2 than it was when we first started in round 1. That makes a lot of sense because round 1 was the first time our body did that move. But you might also notice this for round 3. And it's part of the reason why we spend a whole bunch of time shaking and relaxing. It's because we want our muscles to be okay to start over, and maybe we can give them another push towards our side splits. All right. Man, I must talk way too much because I'm out of breath still. Let's make sure we're staying safe. Stay really close to the wall. I recommend 8 to 12 inches, 20 to 30 centimeters. And if you are confident you're not going to fall, or if you're super low to the ground, so even if you fell, it'd just be like sitting down, then, kudos to you. But for everybody else, let's take a second to make sure we stay safe. All right. Let's open up the legs. Make sure we are feeling just a teeny little bit of discomfort in the hips before we start folding and putting our hands down like we're going to do push-ups, so that we can make it easier on ourselves when we externally rotate our legs. I want your heels down, your toes up, and your knees pointing up. I'm wearing pants, so you can't tell where my knees are, but I'll bend the knee to show you my knees are pointing straight up. Okay? Oh, okay. Now, walk your hands back towards your hips. Put as much of your body weight right over your legs as possible. Get into that deep stretch position. Wiggle from side to side. Get that last little bit of friction, your sticky, sweaty feet, or, your juice stains from your kid not cleaning up after themselves. Whatever it is. Oh, and once you cannot go any deeper, let's start our 30 seconds. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20. We talked about this before. Try bending your elbows to see if you can put even more weight into your hips this time. 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12. You can try the wiggle at any time. 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Last couple seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, lean forward. Crawl on those hands. Pull yourself forward. Come back into standing. It's okay if it takes you a couple seconds. All right. Oh, okay, we just finished round 3. My legs are tired. I'm sure yours are too. Shake it out. Shake, 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 wiggle. We're done. This is just making sure your body works so that when you go back to whatever else you got to do today, you're functional. You don't just randomly collapse because something weird happened and you're way more flexible than you thought and your hip popped out of the socket. So I don't think that's actually possible. I'm just kind of bullshitting right now. Once your legs and arms are loose, let's do our quick little checks. Hip circles. High knees. Pop into that mini squat. and kick yourself in the butt. Once you have done all those things, your legs are working just fine. Maybe you're just a little bit tired. Come on down, and we are done. Okay. All right. I am going to check the chat real quick, but we are all wrapped up for today. So thank you so much, everybody, for coming, for hanging out, for doing the side split stretches. I hope you had fun. I hope you were mildly entertained. I'm not a comedian, but I try to be a little bit funny. And yeah, hopefully that helps you stay consistent, helps you do more side split stretches, helps you come back and hang out with me more to do more stretches. Hopefully, as more and more people keep coming back, keep chatting in the chat, get to know each other, get more familiar with each other. We have a good sized community slowly build, and it just makes it really cool to have stuff to do with people, right? Like this is hard stuff. It's uncomfortable. It's a pain in the ass. You're like for 30 seconds at a time. And having people to do it with you makes it so much easier to do, makes it so much more fun to do. And hopefully I can bring that to you. And hopefully that means you'll keep coming back. All right, hit follow, hit subscribe, do all those things. Make sure you get notified. I'm here every single day. Okay, I'm gonna review the chat real quick because I spent so much time all the way back there, and the text is just way too small to read. I'm like 15 feet away. Eugene Christie 2215 asks, "Thank you. I just joined a bit late and I'm not that warmed yet. How many rounds?" I am so sorry because this must have happened so long ago. I don't even know what you're talking about. Okay. But Queen RRR has stepped in and helped me answer some of those questions. I appreciate you so much, Queen RRR. Three, but don't worry, we're doing all three since you are not really warmed up. It's definitely a lot tougher. Eugene says he joined by Eugene. Yeah, sorry. Oh man, I can't read. Joined by coincidence. How often do you these kind of stretches? You have a specific time. Don't worry, don't worry. I do these stretches every single day. I don't think you need to do them every single day. I do them every single day because I want to make sure that I practice consistency. Because there was a period of time where I was really struggling with consistency, and right now I'm in this particular phase of life where I'm trying to make sure I stick to at least one thing that's a little bit tough, a little bit challenging, a little bit not like work specific to focus on. So I do this every single day. And I think it's just not intense enough that you can do it every single day because, that's why I'm doing it every single day. But I don't think it's necessary for you specifically to do every single day. And if you're doing karate, you've had previous training, your muscles and legs are good. It's totally possible to come every day. But just check up on how your body is doing, especially the first couple of weeks, especially if these are relatively new stretches and exercises for you. Take it slow, take it nice and chill. I don't take attendance or anything, so you don't have to feel bad if you miss. Yeah, hope that answers your question. I'm gonna come over to TikTok and scroll through some comments and questions real quick. I feel like I must have been stretching for a long time because there's a whole bunch of stuff. Abel, I read this earlier. Let's see. Abel sent a gift. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Naledi Star 420 says, I need you to do this later in the afternoon. Also, I want to be able to follow along. Naledi Star, let me know what time and what time zone you are thinking. You can DM me directly if you want. I will be traveling in a couple of weeks, maybe like a little less than 2 weeks. So the time will probably shift at some point, and I'd love to hear your feedback. All right. Hai Xiao followed. Welcome. They said, this is my kind of life. Lovely. And Naledi said the same thing. No, seriously, same. Yes. Good. Anna loves my energy. Oh, man, I love these compliments. Man, this must be the best part of this is the best part of my day. I just get compliments left and right. My middle child ego is getting fed so hard. Okay. Let's see. It's just a lot of really positive things about me, so I'm not going to say them because it's embarrassing. I'll start blushing and I won't be able to finish reading. So I'm just not going to say those really nice things, but I appreciate the really nice things. Thelma's Bar 4 says, don't crash through the window. I have definitely hit the window kind of hard because I have stepped like further than 20, 30 centimeters, 8 to 12 inches, and It scared everybody else. I mean, it scared me too, but it really scared the dog. She started barking, and it was not good because she doesn't bark. So everybody was freaking out. They're like, "What happened? What happened?" Okay. Um, let's see. Wait, what? Quit your job? What did I miss? Am I scrolling too fast? I think you said that the schedule is going to change in like 2 weeks, so it might later. Okay, don't crash the window. Might be later in the future. That'd be awesome. I work at this time, but I'd love to be able to follow. Oh no, that's so funny. Okay. Thelma's Bar 4 said, "Go, quit your job so you can join the lives more." That's hilarious. As much as I appreciate the joke, and I see you're tempted. Your income is probably more important than the side splits. So I'm sorry, I can't encourage your great behavior. Okay, let's see what else we got. This is every day. Yes, indeed. Thank you everybody for coming. Goldo, thank you for coming for day 4. It is 3 p.m. EST right now, and that is 12 p.m. Oh man, time zones are changing because we're shifting to daylight savings time. I think that's in November, but it's 3 p.m. today Eastern. That's 12 p.m. Pacific. And if you're in Europe, that is 9 p.m. Central European summertime. I don't know when that changes into not summertime because summer is over. And yeah, I hope those I hope that's useful information. All right, I think I have checked everything. If you guys follow on TikTok, I'll try and figure out some way to communicate with the follower base and see if I can do a better job of updating the some sort of schedule in one place that you can check. I used a lot of words to say that. I'll find a place to post a schedule at some point, and hopefully it'll be in the account, and I'll be able to link it. And in future lives, I'll be able to share the link to it, so it's easier to find. But Travel with actually says something really smart. Maybe a poll would be useful for gathering some information about what times work better for you guys, especially Naledi 420. All right. Hai Xiao says donation place. Oh, like send me a donation? That would be awesome. I have set up a buy me a coffee account that I have never actually put any time into to turn it into a functioning account, but we'll link that in the profile after the call or after the live, and you can send money that way. That'd be so nice. You'll be my first person if that happens. There's also no pressure. It's totally okay if after all of this I you don't send anything because I care more that you come back than I do about a couple bucks. All right. Travel Darksy asks, do I have a YouTube channel? Yes. If you are confused about who I am who I'm talking to sometimes because their username or their chat doesn't actually pop up, that is because I'm simultaneously doing a TikTok and a YouTube at the same time because, I'm doing it anyway and I just need to put a phone here. So, of course, I'm going to put it on 2 different platforms. Yeah, the YouTube handle is splits on the side. It's the exact same. You can find very similar content on YouTube. So if you have another platform or a platform of choice is YouTube and somehow you found your way onto TikTok, then now you know how to find me on YouTube. And YouTube is also still running. So if YouTubers, you enjoy TikTok or somehow you get pulled into a TikTok doom scroll and you want to find somebody who might help you practice consistency and do side splits, you know where to find me. Splits on the side. Okay. Thank you for listening to me ramble for over an hour, and I hope you enjoyed the side splits. I don't think there's anything else coming through the chat, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap up now. I hope you all had fun. I hope you enjoyed the good vibes. I hope you feel like you're very motivated to practice more stretching more regularly. We're here every single day, and I love that you have a new side quest. Let me know how else I can support you in your side quest. I'm here, like every day. Okay. I'll see you guys tomorrow.